The next ones, we are writing equations and drawing graphs that model real-world situations. We all know that we really don't do math just because it's really fun to do, but probably that we might take science class or something like that where we want to apply it to real life. It says owners of a recreation area are filling a small pond with water. They are adding water at a rate of 35 liters per minute. There are 700 liters in the pond to start. Let W represent the amount of water in the pond in liters. Let T represent the number of minutes that water has been added. Write an equation relating W to T and then graph your equation using the axes below. So when it says write an equation relating the W to the T, it means they want you to have W equals something with a T in it on the other side. So I know I'm going to have W equals, I'm looking for how much water I have. Well, it says there are 700 liters in the pond to start. And I added water at a rate of 35 liters per minute. I'm using T for the number of minutes, and so W equals 700 plus 35T. Or you could put 35T plus 700, same thing, since we have the commutative property. It is case sensitive, so you do have to make sure you type the capitals in when you put it in on Alex. Then you want to plot a couple points. When you're plotting your points, you substitute in on your horizontal axis, which in this case is T. Your answers are the W's, right? So I want to put some number in for T, find my answer. Now obviously I don't want to put a number in that won't fit on my graph, and I'm not going to have any negative numbers because I'm not going to run the water for negative amount of time. What number should we plug in there? 2? 2 sounds good. So if I run the water for 2 minutes, 35 times 2 is 70, plus the 700, so 770. And then I pick some other number. 4. 4 sounds good. So 35 times 4 would be 140 plus my 700 would be 840, right? Now these ones you are going to have to use that plot point tool. Most of the time you won't get nice answers that you can just plot with the pencil, so just use the plot point tool, that one that looks sort of like that. And for now we're going to guess. 2 and 770 sounds good. 4 and 840. Something like that. If I had 0, I'd be at 70. So my line going to look something sort of like that. So number 8 says the sugar sweet company is going to transport its sugar to market. It will cost $3,750 to rent trucks, and it will cost an additional $125 for each ton of sugar transported. Let C represent the total cost in dollars and S represent the amount of sugar in tons transported. Write an equation relating C to S. So what are my costs going to be? What should I have for my equation? Okay, my initial cost $3,750 to rent the truck, and an additional 125 times S. I'll try to make my 5 and my S look different. And so there's my equation. So again, I'm going to substitute in for the S and find the costs. And I just want to pick a couple numbers to plug in. What might I put in there for S? 2, okay? So 125 times 2 would be 250. 250 plus 3,750 would be 4,000. Heck, that one came out nice. I could plot that one with the pencil actually and get in the right spot. Then I'm going to pick some other number that I might want to use. 4. Gavin's just going to go with that. So if I put 4 in there, figure out my answer for me. 500 plus 3,750.
4,450.
Sometimes it's quicker if you just use your head. Sometimes not. 4 and 42.50. Well, that's not going to go up much higher. We'll say it's about there. My line would look, I can almost draw straight, something like that. You only have to do 2 points. If you want to do more than 2, you can, just to make sure everything looks right. Number 9, a cookie company uses 1 cup of sugar for every 30 cookies it makes. 1 for every 30. Let S represent the total number of cups of sugar used, and let N represent the number of cookies made. Write an equation relating S to N. So I want to know how much sugar I'm going to use based on the number of cookies I made. If I use 1 cup of sugar for every 30 cookies, how do I figure out how much sugar I'm going to use? I'm going to take my number of cookies and divide by 30. So when they say 1 for every 30, I'm actually taking 1/30th times the number of cookies, but they're going to simplify it into n over 30 then. So whenever you read that 1 for every, that's a big hint there. I'm going to end up with a fraction. And if I make my table, I'm going to put things in for n, find my s's. So I want to pick out numbers that would make sense. How many cookies might I make? 60. That'd be a good one, because 60 divided by 30 comes out nice and even, and I can use 2. What might be another good number to use? 90. 90 divided by 30 also comes out nice, 3. So 60 with 2, 90 with 3, and I can draw my line, and it looks something like that.